Yo, what's up guys? It's Captain Daniel Kim, and in today's video I'm going to talk about how to get your perfect 10. What do I mean by perfect 10, right? So usually, men, we rate a woman by a number, right? 1 through 10. And 10 is usually like the perfect 10, right? 10 out of 10, she's the most beautiful. And I'm going to give you an advice that you probably never heard before. Stop going for pretty girls. What does that mean? What are you talking about, Daniel? Don't go for pretty girls. Don't go for girls that are attractive. What do I mean by that? Okay, so let me tell you guys something. Attractiveness as a woman, right? A woman, we look at her, it's all physical, right? We think she's pretty or not pretty. Let's be honest. Let's not BS. Let's not beat around the bush. When you look at a girl, you're gonna judge her if she's attractive by her looks at first. You're not gonna care about personality. You're gonna see her boob size. You're gonna see her butt. You're gonna see her face. Let's be honest, right? Like, you guys are like, no, I don't. Okay, fine, whatever. If you don't, you don't. But most guys who are watching this are gonna probably look at a girl and you're gonna say, is she pretty? Yes or no, right? But here's the thing about it. And I'm not trying to get canceled here. I'm just gonna tell you a perspective. What if the woman you're looking at, right? You look at the woman, and let me tell you guys something interesting. And she's pretty, right? But pretty, the quality you see in her pretty, the physical attraction that you see in her, for women, there is an expiration date. Oh man, don't get mad here. If there's any females watching, I'm not saying you as a female has an expiration date. I'm saying the prettiness, the attractiveness, the hotness, the 10 out of 10, whatever you call it, that has an expiration date. What do I mean by that? So let me give you guys some personal anecdotes, right? But let me actually get to the point of why you don't chase pretty. Because here's the thing: if you just want a intimate, physical intimacy, physical, whatever, a one night, or you just want to, date a girl for her looks, right? Then I get it. Yeah, then definitely go for that one time. But my personal anecdote is this. So when I started kind of getting bigger on Instagram and I started, marketing myself better because I became better as a man, I realized a couple things. There's a couple girls that I'd met 4 or 5 years ago, right? And one actually was a girl who dated like a famous baseball player in Korea. One was a girl that, I kind of like went on one date with, and she never went back to me. She kind of ghosted me, right? So I remember these girls, right? So, like, at the time when I met them, I was like 26, 27, and I think they were around the same age, either 25, 26, maybe one was younger. But at the time, they didn't really like me, and which is fine, right? I probably wasn't the most attractive guy. I don't look the way I do. I don't have the vibe the way I do. I am not the man I am today. So at that time, they did not find me attractive, right? I, on the other hand, found them very physically attractive. They were probably, their looks, not them as a person, their looks was in their prime. They were young, they were just perfect skin, soft skin, and everything, right? They were just beautiful. They were just beautiful women. And I remember, like, they ghosted me and they just didn't like me. And I took it very personally, and I was like, man, like, why don't they like me? I kind of asked myself, why can't I get the attractive girls, right? And I always wonder how come other guys get the attractive girls, right? And you might be asking the same question. Why are other guys getting the girls, and why can't I get the girl when she's at her most attractive? But here's the interesting part, right? So now, turning back the clock, let's move forward. Older, and I would say my attractiveness in terms of emotional and physical has gone way up, right? Definitely more physically attractive, in my own eyes and the way people tell me. And, I would say my status went up in terms of Instagram. My finances has probably gone up for sure. It's just, and I'm happier, and I'm just a better man. I'm more mature. I'm more emotionally mature. I'm more wiser. And I think overall quality as a person, as a man, I become more attractive. So it's funny. So I remember one of these girls, it was like last year or 2 years ago. Maybe it was last year. I went to the country she was in. It was Korea, actually. And I guess she ghosted me, right? So she blocked me 3-4 years ago. I don't know. Maybe she didn't block me. Maybe she just ghosted me. But she saw me on a dating app. And she's like, wait, I recognize this face. And then she went on my Instagram. And she said, she messaged me, right? And of course, it's been 3 years. So I think she's in her 30s now. And she's not, well, for me, to be honest, I thought she was just as attractive. Maybe she's not her age wasn't the same, but I thought she was just as attractive. But I think in a weird way, even the woman found herself feeling less attractive because at the time when I met her, she was in her prime, and all her value and confidence came from her physical looks, right? And I think this is the thing that's a little bit different between men and women. And here's the thing, guys, if you get offended by this, try to listen to me first. Listen to the whole video instead of just cutting snippets of this. Listen to this whole video. I think a woman's value when they're younger, and they also mature faster than us emotionally, but when they're younger, and especially if you're considered attractive, your value is purely based on your attraction. Let's be honest, right? It's been proven that a very attractive woman, she gets further in careers, they're treated better. I've seen this firsthand, how a beautiful woman can go into a club, and a girl who's considered not physically attractive, they can't get in for free. I've seen this firsthand, so I know how this works. I used to actually work at a club in LA, so I know this works. This is how they judge women getting into clubs. So if you're gonna get mad at me, mad at these people first. And I know restaurants too, right? They prefer more attractive women. That's why you actually hear about women getting free dinners and all this stuff, right? That's why they have model nights or whatever. So when a girl's from like 20 to, I say, I don't know the exact number, but if they can maintain their looks, whatever. But I say like 21 to like, even they start, now they look better when they're young too. So like even 18, do not go underage, by the way. But 18 to like 27, I would say a girl's in the prime. In looks purely. And no matter what they say, a woman will always be, her value is going to be based on her looks, especially if she's attractive. She can be the smartest, she can be blah, blah, but the first thing a man or society will look at her, she's pretty, so she's somebody special, right? But what happens after that is a woman also knows that her looks, the value of her looks has an expiration date. We don't know when that is, but usually around like past 30s, a woman, at least from my experience, I talk to them, they start doubting themselves a little bit. And usually the women who find some other ways to be more valuable or bring value to society is the ones who are able to maintain their confidence. But most women, and I know this is about some attractive girls, like some girls, like especially if they're like 20 to 25, they don't even believe in self-help. They're like, because they're not in suffering mode. A beautiful girl is not in suffering, no matter what. Like I truly believe that if a really beautiful girl, she can't be poor financially. Why? Because there's so many ways for her to now make money now, right? Using her looks. But they all know that they have an expiration date. Their looks, not the girl, their looks have an expiration date. So as a man, on the other hand, we don't have an expiration date. Why? Because lucky for us, women are not shallow as us, okay? So we can become more attractive as every year goes by if you improve the qualities of what a man should be. And I talked about it in the video, I'll link it up here. But the 4 pillars, right? Physical attraction, financial freedom, status and fame, and gain, social skills, right? You could always improve on that. Those are all things you could actually improve on and become better. Even as an older guy, if you have muscles, you look better, right? Even as an older guy, you have more money, you have more financial freedom, you can take care of your woman, you have more emotional empathy, more intelligence, right? And your fame could go up. If you work on your Instagram, you post cool things about your life, now you just become more of an attractive man. So what I'm saying is this, guys, like stop chasing the pretty girl, because the pretty girl, the prettiness will eventually expire. You know what I'm saying? But you're like, what if, but I want the 25-year-old, 26-year-old. Okay, you can still go for those girls. I'm not saying you can't go for those pretty girls, but if one pretty girl doesn't like you, let her go. Because there's another pretty girl who will like you and maybe sees a different attractive, might find you more attractive than this other pretty girl. But like men, we're so greedy. We want everything, right? But like what I'm saying is, stop worrying about a pretty girl, an attractive girl, a 10 girl. And in a weird way, when you actually stop focusing on it's kind of the opposite of like the law of attraction. If you keep wanting a 10, you'll get a 10. That's not how it works. If you actually don't give value to because in this scenario, it's not materialistic. A human being is a human being. You can't make, like, I think law of attraction kind of works when it's business or like an object, right? Like a car or something like that, because you kind of like can just buy it, right? The car doesn't choose you; you choose the car. You get what I'm saying? But I think in dating and human relationships, the law of attraction says kind of the BS of like if you keep thinking about her, whatever, you get her. No, like real talk, no, that's not how it works. So first, I feel like if you do that, you're becoming too infatuated with a person. You depend your happiness on that person. I feel like the universe doesn't get that. Like whatever you believe in, like wishful thinking, like why would the universe want, like first your beliefs have to be aligned, right? Because let's say she wants a guy and you want her, but the guy she wants is not aligned with you. So that doesn't work. There's gonna be no like mutual energy frequency, right? So first thing, I think as a man, you should be open to all possibilities. If you want a pretty girl, define pretty first, right? Like, because for me, like I told you, these girls who got older and they reached out to me and I started dating them when they were older, I still thought they were pretty. But what's funny is, like once I was physically intimate with them or like we kind of dated, I kind of didn't like them. I was like, man, like I don't like them as a person. Like they just weren't my type. And like I was like, what was the point of that? Me kind of thinking her about for a couple like days or even months where I'm like, why she ghost me, blah blah blah. But to be honest, like as a man, like I know this is weird because I'm a dating coach, but stop chasing pretty women. What I would actually chase is this: chase the man that the version of you, the man that attracts women, right? And eventually you do have to, like, in a way, go and talk to a girl, go ask a girl on a date, because you still have to build that skill. You can't be like, well, I'm gonna think of like me as a man who gets girls all the time, so I don't have to message the girls. No, you are not that man. That's what I'm saying. You gotta chase that man. So you gotta have to start creating a barrier. Even an attractive man who gets all women still goes and talks to girls because he goes after what he wants. So it's a weird dichotomy that a lot of like clients work with me. They're like, oh, like teach me the skills. But once I teach them the skills and they start getting results, they start becoming confident, right? It should be the opposite way. I think they should first believe in a certain way, become the man, believe that the man that's better. Because that's my first class. I actually teach them what kind of man they can be, and then I teach them tactics. But it's hard to believe in the man you can be if you've never seen that man or also know. And also, like, we're too horny. Like, let's be honest, we're shallow guys. We see a beautiful girl and we want her now and then. And we don't really think about what she wants, what she values, and all this stuff. And like, I know you guys are like, well, I don't want her from 5 years from now. But for me, I actually don't care if I date her now or 3 years from now. What I actually think about is like, I had this quote that I always tell women. I always tell them, you know why I work out every day? Do you know why I meditate every day? Do you know why I work on my business every day? You know why I do this, blah, blah. I say, because if I become 1% better every single day, even 0.5, whatever, 1%, in 365 days, or 100 days, I'm 100% better. So if she doesn't like me now, she can like me in 100 days. Even if she doesn't like me in 100 days, like, I'm not going to change. There's actually two ways to this. You could either become just 100% better of you, or you become the man that she wants. And you could do that by like, figure out what kind of man she dated in her life and all that stuff. But why do you want to become the man that she wants? And you're kind of stuck to just being the man that she wants instead of what the man that other girls want and blah, blah. So you never want to become a man that the girl you wants you to become. You just have to be the best version of you, the man of you, the version of you that gets girls or is confident and attractive. Then you can start attracting girls who like you for you. Does that make sense? I know this is like the video started off me how to get pretty girls, and I'm saying don't chase pretty girls, because I'm saying stop chasing pretty. Because if it was just physical, quick intimacy, just a quick one night stand, a quick booty call, whatever you want to call it, if it's that, then yeah, definitely chase it and see how you can get it. But like, there's really no game to it. It's either she likes you or not, she wants to do it or not, whatever, blah. But even for dating, one thing I realized, because now I can say I've dated enough women where I realized, if I just date a girl for her quality or physical quality of physical attraction, oh my God, like, for example, like if our lifestyles don't like match, it's just constant drama. For example, let's say she constantly parties. I don't party, I don't drink, I don't smoke, whatever. But she does that every weekend. Initially, we're like in honeymoon phase, so like I kind of do it with her, I go out with her, but I don't drink. And she's like, oh, that's fine, yeah, my boyfriend doesn't do that stuff. But then she's like, baby, just have one drink with me, just smoke with me once, just smoke weed with me once, or go out with me once. And eventually, I'm not gonna wanna do those things. I never did those things, so why would I wanna go do those things? But she does those things. So then there's gonna be conflict and tension. But because we think the prettiness of her, the quality of prettiness trumps everything else she is, right? We start going on this crazy like journey of like, what do I say? We chase the prettiness instead of understanding there's so much more to the girl we need to see fits our vibe. And I think that's the thing that the whole point of this video is to stop chasing just the physical 10 of her, right? Try to see if she's a 10 in all aspects of what you want in a girl, right? Even if it's just dating, like, does she actually fit your vibe? Does she like the food like you like? Does she work out? Does anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I start to figure out, like, I want to date girls that fit my lifestyle, like what I like, because like it's so much easier to enjoy my time with her, right? It's so much easier to just like, be with her, right? So I don't know. So I know this video, I started off with saying, like, guys, like, how do you get the perfect 10 girl? The answer to that is stop chasing the perfect 10 girl, right? Figure out first what your 10 girl is in all aspects, not just physical, right? And become that same person. Like, become your own version of your 10. And eventually you will attract other 10s that are very similar to you, just in the female version. And you can say opposites attract, blah, 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 blah. But no, opposites don't attract, okay? Like, trust me, when I dated a girl who's total opposite of me, like, yeah, there's some positive because, like, oh, she's more outgoing. Okay, let's say a girl's more introverted, right? So, like, I talk more and she just listens. But eventually, I want the girl to talk, right? Like, I want her to, like, vibe with me, talk about life, teach me some things, right? If she's so quiet all the time, it's like, oh my God, you're so boring. Like, and I just can't do it. Or, like, you know, I'm more of like, you know, more of a fitness person. But let's say she's the total opposite of me. So she loves, like, eating out all the time and eating junk food, or like, but she has fast metabolism, right? I can't eat like her. I can't go out and eat every weekend because I like being in shape, and she doesn't work out. If she doesn't work out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she could learn to work out with me because we're total opposites, but eventually she's gonna not want to work out with me. I have so many girls who used to work out because, well, I do think girls are more, women, I've noticed, when they like a man, they're more want to, like, do what the man likes. That's what I noticed. But for me, I'm hella stubborn. I am not going to change my ways for a girl. I'm sorry, it's just not who I am. I'm not that kind of guy. I want to do what I want to do. So if a girl is super, like, into her lifestyle and she's beautiful, but she doesn't fit my lifestyle, why would I date her? It makes no sense for me to date her. Like, maybe a night of fun or a couple dates here and there, but not my girlfriend. So I think, you know, guys, my last thing I want to say in this video is stop chasing this perfect 10. Stop trying to get the perfect 10 girls when it comes to beauty. I know we want all, don't get me wrong, I have my favorite celebrities. I love, you know, Kendall Jenner, I think is beautifully beautiful. I think Gal Gadot is very beautiful. I do think some girls are very hot, very physically attractive. But what I realized is that, you know, because there's some women that I really found attractive, and I finally ended up, like, dating them, and I realized they're not that attractive anymore. Once the physical kind of passion goes away, I'm just like, man, this is more of a stress than, like, you know what I'm saying? So just be aware of that, right? Like, you know, just be honest with yourself. If you see a girl's physically hot, just be honest, say you just want a one night stand with her. Stop saying you want to be in a relationship with her. First of all, you don't even know who she is. You don't even know what her lifestyle is. So just be careful with that kind of stuff. Like, that's my advice. How do you get a perfect 10? Stop chasing the perfect 10. Chase your perfect 10 version of yourself, and then attract the 10s that actually fit your lifestyle, have the similar look. You actually have to become physically a 10 too to do that. So hope that helps. By the way, if you like and you want a, you know, more work with me, more private work with me, more coaching from me, join the Facebook group downstairs, down in the description below. Schedule a consulting call at dominateasiandating.com. Schedule a consulting call. We could talk more about this on how you could become a 10. This has been a pleasure. Captain Daniel out.